Ozempic is making us lazy. Ozempic is making it too easy for us to bypass certain behaviors, habits, and systems that are actually really critical to living a meaningful life. Now, this analysis is not a hate on anybody that is using Ozempic for medical reasons or for anyone that is genuinely at a risk of diabetes or any sort of health complication situation. I am talking about from personal experience where I know a good amount of people in my life who by no means would be considered obese. If anything, they would be considered like a little bit overweight. Nothing that a good gym system and eating better could not fix. There is a downside to using Ozempic, especially if you're young and don't necessarily need to. Ozempic is kind of like Uber Eats. It's just way too convenient and way too easy now to bypass certain behaviors that I actually think are important as a human. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to be on this like technological bullet train where everything needs to be maximized for efficiency, and we stop as humans validating, or we stop valuing suffering and hard work. And I really think that it can be really damaging to see people around you, especially if you're like a younger woman or you're a young person and you're seeing people that are on drugs that are dropping weight like crazy. And it's not because of a health concern. It is to fulfill a certain body ideal or body aesthetic, which is probably thinness. And I see a bunch of my friends that have taken Ozempic, and it's kind of just because they want to drop that, sticky 10 pounds that they've been carrying, and they want to look like a very slim Instagram model with like little ab lines and things like this. And there's nothing wrong with having a body type that you aspire to, as long as it's not negative and you're not like shitting on yourself because you don't look that way. I don't think that there's anything wrong with wanting to improve your life, to improve your fitness, and to improve your health. But I think that the road to getting that goal actually really matters. It feels that this is another example of people prioritizing the destination over the process, because what kind of habits and systems are you going to develop for your life in general if you look for quick fixes and things like drugs that take away any sort of navigation on your own and hard work and discipline to achieve a goal? I also think that the amount of self-efficacy that one receives when they put in blood, sweat, and tears, or, sweat, at least, when someone puts in sweat for something, there is often a much higher sense of satiation and reward and payoff in the long run, because you're really feeling, I did this, I kicked my ass and I showed up and I challenged myself to do something. So my whole point is that for people that are not at risk of any health complication, that are flocking to use a drug like Ozempic, are taking the easy way. And I actually don't think that doing that is going to benefit you in the long run in your life as a whole. It's not specifically about health and fitness. It's about your life philosophy and how much you value process over product. Because something that I've been increasingly aware of is you could be really fixated on the outcome of a goal or on the product of something or the destination of something. But if your process looks like shit, or you're really dissociated and stressed out and it's just really not enjoyable, you're not even gonna super enjoy the thing that you've worked so hard to achieve, because the whole process has been disgusting for you. So same kind of sentiment in this specific situation. And maybe let me go into an example to kind of drive my thought home. I've seen a few reels and YouTube videos back in the day when I was way more clocked into like bodybuilding, body image culture on YouTube, and I was watching some really dramatic weight loss stories, because of course it's so clickbaity and perfect. You see someone's body from this to that and you're like, holy fuck. And there were a lot of those where someone was like, I fucking changed my lifestyle, I changed what I ate, I went to the gym, I went to health professionals, and like I'm so much more holistically healthy. And I've also seen other weight loss transitions where someone went on like a really restrictive diet, or they went on certain types of drugs, or they got a gastric bypass, or what have you. And I remember many people recounting how they experienced a really severe loss of identity when they went through such a rapid weight loss transformation, because in many ways you were not actually part of the process to achieve that end result. You took, like a catalyst pathway where you dropped pounds like this, and now you have this much different body, and maybe your skin is really flabby because it actually hasn't had enough time to tighten up. Basically, you've lost weight way faster than you've been able to build muscle, and so you have like really flabby skin. And for many people, they're like, yeah, wonderful, I've lost the pounds and I'm at the numbered weight that I've always wanted to be at. And yet at the same time, like, I still actually feel really awful, and I thought that all of my problems would be fixed once I achieved a certain weight, but actually my problem is still here, and if anything, I really feel like I don't really know who I am right now. So this is all coming from, like a mental health perspective, that for so many young people that maybe are maybe navigating like an eating disorder, eating issues, you're an emotional eater, or the gym gives you anxiety and you really don't know, how to work out, and it's really intimidating, and you kind of think, oh, you know what, like maybe I can just take Ozempic because I really don't think that it has health risks and it's becoming increasingly easy to attain. I would just argue that you will be doing yourself such a greater service by challenging yourself to go through the shit and the muck of healing your relationship with food and your body, and developing better systems like learning about nutrition and eating food that genuinely makes you feel really good, and challenging yourself to work through your anxiety in the gym and to show up and to believe in yourself and to actually be able to feel that efficacy grow little by little over a period of dedication and systematic habit building. The fuck, did that make any sense? Like, that's my main argument. So yes, I do think that if you're not at risk of any sort of disease and you're not considered obese, your doctor hasn't recommended that you take Ozempic, and you want to take Ozempic to lose those few extra pounds, like Ozempic makes you lazy, and that's going to be your orientation to problems, not necessarily in the realm of health and fitness moving forward in life, because you're going to look for, oh, what's the like quick easy fix that I can take that doesn't cause me any discomfort and doesn't cause me suffering. And actually, I really realize that as humans, we're so scared of suffering and pain. Like, don't get me wrong, starting YouTube has been fucking disgusting for me. I've struggled so much, like, in my head about the type of videos that I want to make, about how like 3 people are watching my videos, and that I feel embarrassed and all of these things. But I also realize that there is no quick fix for it besides just going through it. It reminds me of the children's book that's like, you can't go over it, you can't go under it, you have to go through it. And what a fucking amazing life philosophy. You have to go through your shit. You can't evade your feelings, for example, otherwise they will just follow you, and then what you're going to have is a bunch of compensatory behaviors if you are avoiding a certain feeling or not wanting to like do hard work in a particular area. You're just going to compensate in another way. And I actually think that you're going to carry with you this like chronic sense of dissatisfaction and unhappiness, and who the fuck wants to live like that? Like, free yourself of those things. So let's all embrace suffering. Suffering is normal, suffering is a part of life, and it's actually super fucking important. You never grow from, no offense, like, of course happy joyful moments are amazing, but what actually forces you to become a better and different person is pain and suffering. That's why relationship breakups can be so cathartic, because you have this kind of like lost sense of identity and safety and comfort, and now you really need to get yourself up by your bootstraps, because you're not going to throw yourself off a bridge. Please don't. You have no other option but to continue breathing and continue living your life. So you really have to fucking like figure shit out and get your strength together. So this is just kind of like a similar thing of embrace the discomfort and embrace the not knowing. And there's so much resources online in terms of nutrition and building gym habits and proper exercise form that you are going to be such a better off person by going through that and learning about those things. You have no idea, challenge yourself to be a beginner and to not know what the fuck you're doing, because arguably the only meaningful things in life actually arise from you going through that process. I'm telling myself this like hilariously, or I'm saying this hilariously, knowing that I need to fucking like chew my own medicine, which it's so much easier to fucking say. But anyways, those were my thoughts. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for tuning in.